They're all there.
Here's where I'm going with this, and this is where I wanted to tie this into the next thing we were going to talk about. And Linda was talking about it with the World Economic Forum, right? We all know that Trudeau is heavily involved with that organization. In fact, fucking what is this? Klaus Schwab, the supervillain. He's even fucking said that we've penetrated the Canadian cabinet.
Fucker even dresses like a Romulan.
Yeah, right. So this is where I kind of tie this in my. I had to process that for a second. So here's how I processed all of that in my. Here's how I process all of that in my head. Right, where Canada is supposedly one of the more invaded countries in terms of the World Economic Forum. They've sunk in their teeth into Canada, the most. That from the perception of how they're talking, that's how I perceived it. Now you have this rebellion happening, right? So I felt like maybe this was an act of, Trudeau got a call. Hey man, what's going on over there? This goes against our little thing that we have to get done by 2030, which means you need to get this shit in order because the whole world is watching. And if this continues to go the way it goes, we're not going to be able to continue with this World Economic Forum agenda where you will own nothing and be happy. Right? And
he was coached. I don't think he was threatened. I think he was coached.
But you understand what I'm saying? Where now I'm coming into this whole World Economic Forum where I'm starting to pay more attention to it and the people that are involved with it. And the people that are involved with it are the exact same people we've been talking about for the last hour and a half now, going on 2 hours, are the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, like the Pfizers. I heard an interview with the Pfizer CEO saying that they're developing a pill and it won't do anything, but check to take it'll tell them
it's like a marker, a biotracer or something.
Yeah,
to show compliance.
It's not going to do anything. The pill is not a COVID pill. It's not doing it. It will let them know that you took it. Right?
Does anyone watch JP Sears, Awaken with JP on YouTube?
I fucking love JP.
He's so funny. He's got a video of the World Economic Forum where some guy just under Klaus Schwab is talking, and he's talking about being able to control people's minds with like chips and shit like that. Like it's actually a thing that
what did he say? Sorry to jump in on you, Linda. Did you see how he said like how most people are useless and we just got to keep them drugged and playing?
Yes, like we need to be ruled by them. Yes.
Yeah. And like,
yeah, I believe that. I think there's two different types of people or two different types of orientations, and those are the elites that think they have to take control of everything for the better good. I don't think they know they're evil. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then there's the other who work for the greater good of everybody by not service to self, but service to other people. So I think that's basically where we're at right now.
Well, I mean, okay, and I'm not defending any of these people, but most people, when they get into politics or they get into pharmaceuticals or any kind of business, I think most people genuinely get into it with their intent to help or do good. But in their approach to help and do good, they're actually doing things that are super negative, right?
Yeah, and they learn to start to fear what they're going to lose.
Yeah. So,
can I ask this question?
Yeah, go ahead.
How many people think you can stop the New World Order from happening? How many people here that amongst us think that you can stop the New World Order from happening?
I think I can with my mind, not necessarily physically or emotionally or anything. Because when you talk about this New World Order, I don't think it's as dramatic as people are gonna think it's gonna be. It's not gonna be like this utopian fucking society that's gonna happen overnight.
It never is. It never is.
It's never gonna happen like that. And what I think it's gonna be is a psychological war, where you're going to have people who are going to accept what's going on, and you're going to have other people who are going to fight it, but not physically. Because if this turns into a physical altercation, I don't think anybody's a winner, right? We're going to destroy cities, we're going to destroy people, we're going to destroy lives. I don't think
You don't
that's
think they don't want that to happen?
well.
Yeah.
I,
I'm the Chris side. I think the war, it's already been fought, right? I think that COVID showed us in 2 years they turned families against each other. They turned like communities against each other. People were given an option to take something or have your life changed in a way that you don't want it. Some people took it, people didn't. I mean, they villainized people for not wanting. Total transparency. I got the vaccine at the initial stage because I was like, I want to get out of here. I want to go hang out. So I took it. I was like, hey, I'm just going to take this so I can go hang out, do what I got to do. That was April of last year, right? I regretted taking the vaccine when I saw they brought in mandates, right? Because in my mind, it was like, why do they need to have, like, people were taking it. So as someone who took it, I regretted it. I was like, oh my God. I didn't want all this. I thought it was going to be a choice. You take it, you don't take it. Like, all my friends didn't take it. I took it, right? I was like, hey, I want to hang out. I want to be around people. Whether they take a vaccine or not, whether they get sick or not, that's their choice. I want to make a choice. If I'm going to hang around people who I know who are not vaccinated, I'll just be protected. Right? So, in transparency, I took the vaccine. Right? But I regretted taking it. Right?
Jason, there's a funny video I saw on YouTube. It's a black dude and a half black dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the half black dude is now on. He's got this. He has to carry this thing for his heart because he had an adverse event and it caused his heart to be screwed up. And the guy's got a pretty good spirit, and he's like, because so the black dude is saying to the half white, half black guy, he's like, so we told you not to take the jab, and he's like, yeah, I know, I did it. I thought I had it. Now what do you got? He's like, I got to carry this thing around because I had an adverse infection. Just nigga, you have your half black side is so pissed at you right now. The video's fucking hilarious. You would appreciate it.
The screen froze. I didn't catch that.
but like, listen, so I really wonder if people feel as though they can stop this new world order from happening. Because I don't think it's something, it's going to happen, right? It's happening as we speak. Like, they're talking about the metaverse already. They're already planning to have everybody, well, maybe not our generation, but the kids that are coming up behind us, they're going up in a world where they have two worlds, the flesh and blood world and the online metaverse avatar life that they live, where literally they just plug into that as entertainment, right? My kids already do Roblox, right? They already do Minecraft. They already do all that stuff where they're talking to people all over the world, building houses, building streets, building cities, and they just interact on that for hours at a time.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Ashton got it right when he said it's a psychological warfare. I think they're trying to take our consciousness. They started with the propaganda. They laid out their plans. They're rolling it out. And if you're not with it, like, I know for this new financial system coming up, everybody needs to have like a vaccine pass. I know it's not a thing right now, but I think federally they're going to keep it to travel, which, speaking of third world countries versus ours, in Cuba, you could travel, right? And they're in a communist country, but Canadians can't travel if you're not vaccinated. That's just a side note. But I think they're coming.
No, you could have always traveled without the vaccine. It's coming back.
See, that's what people say, but there's no agreement on it because the flights, like what are you gonna do? You're gonna buy a ticket, and then Air Canada's gonna say no, you can't fly.
No, I know plenty of people who are. Yeah, I know plenty of people who are unvaccinated who have traveled no problem. Yeah. The only thing is
coming back.
Yeah, coming back is a problem, but the purpose of the mandate and this specific topic of travel that we're talking about was to make you miss something so much that you would just do whatever they said. It wasn't meant to protect anybody. Other countries don't care. Other countries have their own restrictions, yada, yada, yada. It wasn't meant to that. It was meant to say, how bad do you want to travel? If you want to travel, you got to take the fucking jab, right? But when you actually go there, they can't limit that freedom of movement, right? I have a cousin who she showed up at the airport without a ticket booked, found the one that had the space. She went to Jamaica, unvaccinated, no problem.
Good to know.
They can't actually physically stop you. It's that they put so many barriers in place to try to deter you or
Listen.
influence your decision.
And the
In
people who had
Belize-
money were traveling
Belize-
the entire time.
In Belize, if you're a Belizean citizen and you don't have your Vax card, you can't leave. You can't leave the land border. You can't fly.
Oh,
if you're a
really?
Belizean citizen.
But
Yeah.
if you're,
Yeah.
I guess, a resident, you can go wherever you want to go.
Because you have a passport from another country,
Ah, okay.
right?
So-
So, like I'm waiting for my permanent residency card, and actually that's a concern of mine, right? But I Ashton knows. I've always got trap doors. I've also got a Mexican residency,
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
so I can fuck off to Mexico if I want to.
Yeah.
So,
Smart.
yeah.
But bringing it back to this, like Jay was saying, how can you fight the new world order? Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
So, Linda, you're gonna like this. I don't know if you've already been on this page, but from the vibe I get from you, there's a YouTube channel called Academy of Ideas.
Yes,
Um,
yes. After
yeah.
school.
After school uses
Listen
Academy
to
of
Alan
Ideas
Watts
a
and
lot.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's after school. Academy of Ideas is used by after school a lot. They have their own channel. It's absolutely awesome. Jay, you should look it up too. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
and he talks about this exact subject, Ashton, about how you deal with this. So that's a great question, Jay. Like asking about, like how do we fight this? There's a video that the Academy of Ideas released. I want to say it was about 6 weeks ago. It was about parallel societies. So one of the ways that you do it,
I saw that one.
that one, yeah, is developing, and they were talking about this band that was in the Czech Republic back when they were in the Soviet Union, and how this band, they had a pretty cool name. I can't remember the name of it, but they just did everything completely opposite. And they kind of developed. This was in the 1980s, and they developed a parallel society. Basically, they ended up getting arrested, but they created such a strong society. It all contributed to the fall of the Soviet Union. So like, in order to deal with this, is you just have an alternative society, right?
Counterculture.
They had their own
Yeah.
system.
And I mean, okay, like, is that possible in Canada's
Yes.
landscape right now?
Yeah. I mean, when I listen to this guy give a lecture about cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, not that Bitcoin is the answer to all the problems, but when he said something, he's like, listen, if you create something that governments can't control, right? The advantage is everyone connected to that system cannot be controlled. And so when he was explaining, like, because I had an idea what Bitcoin was and cryptocurrency was, but he was giving a better explanation than I had heard. And he was like,
Centralized, it's not regulated.
yeah, it's not regulated,
Yeah.
right? It's shared by a community, and the value of it is based on the rarity and the fact that it's a limited resource, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, you can go anywhere in the world right now and access your Bitcoin, pull it out in whatever currency you need to pull it out in, right? It's still worth the same thing, whatever currency you go in. And he's like, the problem with money, because this guy was a billionaire, he still is. So the problem with money is money devalues over time. And he's like,
Especially when you print so much of it, it's not rare.
right.
Yeah.
And he was pointing to what's happened over the last 2 years. He's like, all the nations, even America, with the being the standard of money right now, the dollar being like the standard. He's like, they printed more money and they devalued their money. And he's like, yo, if you put your money in this bank in this country, you don't know if the government's gonna nationalize all the banks, freeze everyone's accounts, and say you can't take the money, or like what they did to Putin, right? Countries are gonna like come together, lobby, and try to devalue your currency to attack you, and the money you have in there means nothing now. So he was like, with Bitcoin, you'd be like, oh, they're not taking. I'll just go here. and take my money out there where it's of whatever value it is. And so I think that, like Chris is saying, if you can find a way to create a space where the government cannot control, no government can control whether it's the currency, the technology, the land mass, other governments can't control it, then you can protect yourself against what's coming. The problem is most people want what's coming because they've been sold what's coming since they were kids.
And they've been told that what's coming is better for them, will make them happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we didn't grow up in a social media age. We were born before there was an internet and social media, right? Yeah. So if we disconnect, it's not going to be the end. We'll read books, like we'll socialize with our friends. We'll, read the newspaper.
Get back to nature and stuff like that. Get off the internet. Yeah.
But kids right now, you can't tell them, no, unplug. They're afraid of that.
Yeah.
Right? And anything that's going to keep them connected to the big matrix, they want that. Whatever's going to give them faster interaction, faster connection.